breaking now from Fox 17 News.
This breaking news just into our newsroom from downtown Grand Rapids. There is heavy smoke spotted over the city with flames, or at least what used to be a bunch of flames coming out of the top of the building where Grand Rapids Brewing Company is located.
You can hang out in a hammock, play some checkers. You can even go ahead and toss some bags out here, which I'll do right now. It's too easy. Let's go. All in preparation for totality, which starts at 3:06 p.m.
He won the entire state of Michigan, but if we turn off the heat here, it shows margins of victories. And we'll zoom in on West Michigan. While you see a lot of green on this map, the orange indicates some pockets of wins not for Donald Trump. Instead, these counties went to Ted Cruz. There's a video we want to show you that I posted on X the moments before that second tornado hit. Many of us, dozens of people, were funneled into this building here. It's the community office. Something like this happens on a campus, whether that's a high school campus, elementary school campus, college campus. You think of the students, you think of the parents as well. You said you had conversations with them. What were those conversations like as they wait to hear from their daughters or their sons to know that they're okay? Numbers dropped 39%, and that does reflect the overall trend, so no real surprises there. But then you take a look at the north and the west side. Car thefts have actually increased by a whopping 46% in that same time frame. One stat I did find was that you set the school record for minutes played in a season as a senior at Northern Michigan. Great stat, right?
Yeah, great stat, because it's the only one I had that made any relevance.
So. Would Tom Izzo, the coach, recruit Tom Izzo, the player?
Hell no. Hell no, he wouldn't.
That's a good point, because if you take a look around, you get a 360-degree sunset. You almost forget that it's the middle of the day. It's 3 p.m. It's time for a late lunch, honestly. I'm getting a little hungry. People who haven't been lifelong Lions fans, help me understand what it's like to be in this moment.
It's a beautiful moment.
What do you think is going to happen to the city of Detroit tonight?
It is going to rock. We're going to burn couches. No, we're not burning.
Off the record, off the record. Much different scene leaving the stadium tonight. Saw some tears, but I also saw some smiles, and that really caught my attention because, like we've been talking about, it's a bittersweet moment for these fans. I think a little more bitter right now considering how close we are to the end of this heartbreaking loss, but sweet also because they finally have hope for the future, which is something they haven't been able to say in a long time, and that was kind of the sentiment I got from fans during our conversations after this game. The other day, I was scrolling through Facebook, searching for some online inspiration for my next big story, and I came across this giant Christmas tree lighting up the night sky in Cedar Springs. Now, based on the comments, it kind of seems like everyone in the small town knows it exists and loves it, but can't quite exactly agree on the history behind this holiday tradition. So, I wanted to go find out for myself. First stop, Cedar Springs City Hall, to speak with City Manager Darla Falcon, who moved here in 2016.
Shortly thereafter, the talk was, you know, does the tree need work this year? I'm like, what tree? The Cossin tree. Okay, what's the Cossin tree?
Well, there's our first discovery. It's called the Cossin tree, as in Evelyn Cossin, the former homeowner at 427 Main Street. No pictures of her, no other information other than a document that outlined Miss Cossin's dying wish, leaving the city $15,000 to maintain and light the Christmas tree every year.
Have you ever heard of someone doing something like that?
I personally have not. So I'm going on 30 years of municipal experience, and this is not the norm.
Well, this was a good start, but I was nowhere near satisfied. So Falcon sent me to the Cedar Springs Museum to continue my search. And search we did. All hands on deck. Flipping through old articles and city logs for anything at all that mentioned Ms. Cossin or the tree.
Yeah, look through every box.
As they tore the place apart, I sat down with Sharon Jett, the museum's director, who knew Ms. Cossin personally.
Every time she went past that house, she fell in love with it again, and she told her friends to, if that house ever goes up for sale, tell me, I want it.
Well, there we have it, our next clue. Turns out Ms. Cosson lived on the East Coast, but when the house went on the market in 1983, she purchased it and moved to Cedar Springs. And back by the boxes,
You lit Friday, November 24th.
they hit the jackpot. Article after article with the Christmas tree filling the front page. And then
From her funeral.
a memorial note for Ms. Cosson. Says she passed in 1988 at 74 years old. The funeral services held by Reverend Lawrence Young, whose brother-in-law just so happens to be the current owner of the Cosson home.
We came back here and put a bid on it and got it.
Did you know about this tree before then?
No, that was a surprise for us.
Charles Reap, who just wanted to restore an old Victorian home, is now the unofficial curator of the Cosson Archives.
Of the tree when it was first lit up in 1985.
At that time, Reap says the tree had about 4,300 lights on it. Now, this 90-foot tall Norwegian spruce only has 1,600, but as of this year, they're all LEDs. The romantic illumination seducing people to the property.
You can go around the house and go out, and so they do that sometimes.
Is that weird?
No, well, I'm sitting back there watching TV and it doesn't bother me.
The city does foot his electric bill while the tree is lit. It's about $200 every year. And even after all this time, the Cosson account still has $10,000 left in it. So we are far from the final chapter of this magical tale. And with a little help, we turned all those rumors into reality.
It's a blessing to have people enjoy it. That's what it's for.
Reap says if you want to come check out the tree, you only have a few days left to do it, because when the new year begins, these lights go off until the day after Thanksgiving, when this tree becomes the main attraction here on Main Street once again. In Cedar Springs, Max Goldwasser, Fox 17 News.